Breakups can shake you to the core, making it feel like your entire world is falling apart. The overwhelming emotions, whether it's a deep sense of loss, confusion, or even betrayal, can be so intense that it's hard to imagine ever finding peace again. When everything feels dark, it's easy to think you're broken beyond repair. But here's the truth. Even though it hurts right now, you are not defeated. While it may seem impossible now, healing and growth are within your reach. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter where you can rediscover your strength, learn from the past, and build a future that excites you. You might feel lost, but this is your opportunity to find yourself again. Today, I'm going to walk you through 9 ways to heal after a breakup. These steps aren't just about getting over someone. They're about reclaiming your life, finding your inner strength, and becoming an even stronger, more resilient version of yourself. If you're ready to take that first step toward healing, hit the like button and subscribe so you can join me on this journey of personal growth and empowerment. Let's get started. 1. Face your emotions head on. The first and most important step in healing after a breakup is to confront your emotions directly. It may seem easier to bury your feelings, distract yourself, or avoid the pain altogether, but doing so will only delay your recovery. Stoic philosophy teaches us that emotions, while natural, are not meant to control us. Instead, they are signals that we can choose how to respond to. So, permit yourself to feel everything: sadness, anger, confusion, or even relief. These emotions are all part of the process. The Stoics believed that acknowledging our emotions without judgment allows us to gain control over how we react to them. Rather than fighting your feelings or pretending they don't exist, take time to sit with them. Journal about what you're going through, talk to a close friend, or simply say out loud, "This is sadness," or "I'm feeling anger." Naming your emotions creates a distance between you and them, giving you the space to observe without being overwhelmed. This practice of naming and observing your emotions is deeply rooted in Stoic teachings. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of accepting the reality of your feelings without letting them dictate your actions. The idea is not to suppress or ignore what you're feeling, but to face it head-on and learn from it. By doing so, you're allowing yourself to process the pain rather than letting it fester beneath the surface. Remember, your emotions are not permanent. They are like waves that come and go. In the Stoic view, just as we would observe passing clouds in the sky, we should observe our emotions as temporary states of being. You are not your sadness or anger. You are the observer, capable of experiencing these feelings and still moving forward. Taking this Stoic approach to your emotions not only helps you cope with the immediate pain of the breakup, but also builds your emotional resilience for the future. By mastering this skill, you'll find that no emotion, no matter how intense, can truly defeat you. Instead, it becomes an opportunity for growth. The Stoics remind us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Facing your emotions head-on isn't just about dealing with the breakup. It's about regaining control of your life and using this challenging time to become stronger. 2. Accept that it's over. One of the hardest things to do after a breakup is to truly accept that the relationship has ended. A part of you might still cling to hope that things could go back to the way they were, that maybe somehow it could all be fixed. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that holding on to what's gone only traps us in a cycle of pain. To move forward, you must embrace acceptance, not as a form of defeat, but as a conscious choice to let go of what is no longer serving you. In Stoicism, one of the core principles is understanding and accepting things we cannot change. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom is crucial in the context of a breakup. The end of a relationship is an external event, one that is often beyond our control. But how we respond to it, whether we choose to dwell in the past or move forward, is something we have complete control over. Accepting that it's over doesn't mean you're giving up on love, happiness, or your future. Instead, it means you're choosing to release the grip on the past so you can create space for new possibilities and new beginnings. When you refuse to accept that something has ended, you prevent yourself from healing. You remain stuck, constantly reliving moments that can never be changed. But in the Stoic tradition, acceptance is about freeing yourself from this mental prison. Take a moment to reflect on this. What do you gain by holding on to the past? The Stoics would argue that by resisting the reality of the situation, you only prolong your suffering. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It shows that you understand what you can and cannot control. And in this case, you cannot control the end of the relationship, but you can control how you choose to respond to it. One powerful Stoic exercise is to visualize the situation from a broader perspective. Imagine yourself years from now, looking back at this moment. Will clinging to the hope of reconciliation benefit your future self? Likely not. The Stoic practice of amor fati, or love of fate, teaches us to embrace every moment, even the difficult ones, as necessary parts of our journey. By accepting that the relationship is over, you are aligning yourself with reality and allowing life to move forward naturally. Another concept the Stoics encourage is focusing on what lies ahead. Once you accept the breakup, you can shift your attention from what you've lost to what you stand to gain. This is where new opportunities for personal growth, self-discovery, and even new relationships begin to open up. By embracing the present and letting go of the past, you create space for healing and renewal. 3. Focus on self-care. After a breakup, when emotions are running high, it's easy to neglect the most important person in the situation, you. Often, heartbreak can make you feel disconnected from your body and mind, and this is when self-care becomes crucial. The Stoics believed in maintaining balance and caring for both the body and mind to achieve inner peace. It's in moments of emotional turbulence that taking care of yourself is not just a luxury, but a necessity. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea that we can't control external events, but we can control how we care for ourselves and how we respond to challenges. In this case, practicing self-care isn't just about doing something nice for yourself. It's about reinforcing your strength and resilience. Eating nutritious meals, moving your body, and getting enough sleep are foundational to maintaining emotional balance. The Stoics were firm believers in maintaining physical health as a way to support mental clarity and well-being. Let's start with the basics. Nutrition. When you're heartbroken, it's tempting to turn to comfort foods, or, on the other hand, completely lose your appetite. However, in Stoic thought, moderation is key. By choosing to nourish your body with healthy whole foods, you're aligning with the Stoic virtue of temperance, which promotes self-control and balance. Foods rich in nutrients like omega-3s, which support brain health, can naturally help stabilize your mood. Think of every meal as an opportunity to care for yourself and strengthen your body, which in turn helps strengthen your mind. Next, consider movement. Exercise has been proven to release endorphins, which naturally elevate your mood and help reduce stress. While you may not feel motivated to hit the gym after a breakup, even something as simple as a 20-minute walk can help reset your emotional state. The Stoics often emphasize the importance of physical movement as part of daily life. Marcus Aurelius, in particular, wrote about the benefits of physical exercise as a way to clear the mind and bring a sense of order to one's thoughts. By engaging in physical activity, you're not just caring for your body, you're bringing structure and clarity to your emotions. A key principle in Stoicism. Sleep, too, is often overlooked, but is essential to emotional healing. A lack of sleep can make your emotions feel more intense and harder to manage. The Stoic principle of living in harmony with nature applies here. Just as the body needs rest to restore itself, the mind also needs a break from the constant replaying of painful memories. Creating a bedtime routine that promotes relaxation, such as disconnecting from screens an hour before bed, or practicing a brief meditation, helps you calm your mind and prepare for restorative sleep. By prioritizing sleep, you're giving yourself the space to recover mentally and emotionally. 4. Avoid contact with your ex. It's incredibly tempting to stay in contact with your ex after a breakup. Maybe you want closure, or perhaps you're holding on to the hope that things might turn around. But as the Stoics would remind us, clinging to what's gone only prolongs our suffering. Staying in touch often keeps you tethered to the past, stuck in a cycle of pain, preventing you from truly moving forward. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control. In this case, you can't change the fact that the relationship has ended, but you can control the boundaries you set. This is where creating distance becomes essential for your healing. Whether it's unfollowing them on social media, deleting their number, or avoiding places where you might run into them, setting these boundaries allows you to reclaim your emotional space. In Stoicism, apatheia refers to the ability to maintain emotional equilibrium by not being disturbed by external events. By reducing contact with your ex, you're actively creating a buffer that protects your peace of mind. This isn't about shutting them out of your life completely. It's about giving yourself the room to heal without being triggered by constant reminders of the relationship. Imagine your emotions as a fire. The more you feed this fire by texting, calling, or checking up on your ex, the more intense it becomes. In the words of Stoic philosopher Epictetus, we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. By keeping the fire burning, you're reinforcing the emotional turmoil within. Choosing to limit contact is a conscious decision to stop fueling that fire, allowing it to naturally burn out over time. Furthermore, the Stoics believed in practicing temperance, or self-discipline. Avoiding contact with your ex requires self-control, but it's through this discipline that you gain freedom from emotional turmoil. Each time you resist the urge to reach out, you strengthen your ability to focus on your healing journey rather than getting lost in what was. By distancing yourself, you're not just cutting ties with the past, you're opening up space for new beginnings. Healing takes time, but with boundaries in place, you allow yourself the opportunity to truly move on, in line with Stoic principles of self-mastery and emotional resilience. 5. Surround yourself with supportive people. Healing after a breakup doesn't have to be something you go through alone. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while inner strength is crucial, seeking support from others is also an important part of building resilience. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized the importance of community and relationships in our lives. He believed that we are all interconnected and that turning to others during tough times doesn't make us weak. It makes us human. Leaning on your friends, family, or even a therapist can be a lifeline when you're navigating the emotional roller coaster of a breakup. Surrounding yourself with supportive people reminds you that you are not alone in this journey. Sometimes just talking through your emotions with someone who genuinely cares about you can bring immense relief. The Stoics believed in the value of wise counsel, and who better to offer that than the people who know you best? Talking to others allows you to gain new perspectives and insights that you may not have considered. It's easy to get caught up in your thoughts, but opening up to those who uplift you helps bring clarity and objectivity. In Stoic terms, this is about using reason to see the situation clearly, rather than being blinded by intense emotions. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, taught that while we cannot control the events that happen to us, we can choose how we respond. One way to strengthen this response is by surrounding yourself with people who encourage you to focus on your healing, not your pain. Their support acts as a buffer, helping you process your emotions without being consumed by them. It's important, however, to choose the right people to lean on. The Stoics advised us to seek out wise, balanced individuals who offer constructive advice and help us grow. Surrounding yourself with those who feed negative emotions, whether it's gossip or complaints, can hold you back from your healing. Instead, seek out those who encourage you to rise above the situation and focus on your well-being. Stoicism teaches that while we must cultivate inner strength, we are also part of a greater whole. By surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting people, you're not only reinforcing your resilience, but also embracing one of the core principles of Stoic wisdom: community and shared strength. 6. Reflect on the lessons learned. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, is an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. The Stoics believe that every experience, especially the painful ones, offers valuable lessons. Marcus Aurelius said, The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This breakup, as difficult as it may seem, is not just an end. It's a beginning, an opportunity to learn more about yourself, your needs, and what you truly value in life and relationships. Take time to reflect on what this breakup has taught you. Stoic philosophy encourages us to look at situations rationally, without being consumed by emotions. What patterns did you notice in your relationship? Were there recurring issues or behaviors, both positive and negative, that shaped your connection with your partner? Reflecting on these patterns is not about blaming yourself or your ex. It's about gaining insight into your own actions and reactions. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-awareness. Through careful reflection, you can identify areas where you showed strength, as well as areas where you may have struggled. Did you notice moments where you handled conflict with grace, or where you let your emotions take over? This type of honest reflection is key to growth. It allows you to take responsibility for your actions while also understanding what you might want to do differently in the future. Another Stoic principle is the concept of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, which involves imagining potential hardships and preparing for them mentally. This doesn't mean dwelling on the negative, but rather learning from past challenges so that you are better equipped to handle similar situations in the future. Reflecting on this breakup allows you to mentally prepare for future relationships by understanding what you truly need from a partner and how you can communicate those needs more effectively. By focusing on growth, you transform the pain of the breakup into a stepping stone toward becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The Stoics believe that wisdom comes from understanding the nature of things, including ourselves. This breakup, though painful, is an opportunity to learn what works for you in relationships and what doesn't, making you wiser and more prepared for the future. Stoicism reminds us that it's not about avoiding difficult experiences, but about learning from them. Use this time to reflect deeply, not just on the relationship, but on yourself, your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and how you've grown. By doing so, you're not just healing, you're evolving into a more self-aware, emotionally resilient individual. 7. Discover new passions and hobbies. Breakups, though painful, create a unique opportunity for self-discovery. When a relationship ends, it often leaves a void in our daily routines and sense of identity. This is the perfect time to reconnect with yourself, explore new interests, and rediscover who you are outside of the relationship. In Stoic philosophy, periods of adversity are seen as prime opportunities for personal growth, and this situation is no different. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." While you may not be able to control the end of your relationship, you can control how you spend your time and energy moving forward. The Stoics believed in the importance of focusing on what we can control, and one of the most powerful things you can do after a breakup is to redirect your energy into new passions and hobbies. Now is the time to try something new. Have you always wanted to learn a musical instrument, start painting, or practice yoga? Maybe you've had a hobby in mind that you've been putting off because life got in the way. This is your chance to step outside your comfort zone and explore those interests. The Stoics teach us that we grow through challenge, and pushing ourselves to try something new, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, can lead to tremendous personal growth. By focusing on new activities, you're not just filling your time, you're reconnecting with parts of yourself that may have been neglected during the relationship. This is a chance to regain your sense of identity and purpose. In Stoic terms, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, independent of external circumstances. You are more than your relationship, and discovering new passions is a way to reinforce that truth. Additionally, pursuing new hobbies brings a sense of accomplishment and joy, which are essential for emotional recovery. The Stoics emphasize the importance of eudaimonia, living a flourishing life in alignment with your values. By engaging in activities that bring you fulfillment, you're taking active steps toward that goal, filling your life with meaning and purpose. In the end, discovering new passions is about more than just staying busy. It's about reclaiming control over your life. As you dive into new experiences, you'll not only gain new skills, but you'll also strengthen your sense of self. This process helps you rebuild from the inside out, embracing the Stoic principle of personal growth and self-mastery. Remember, the Stoic journey is one of constant evolution. Each new passion or hobby you discover is a step toward becoming a more resilient, well-rounded person. Use this time to invest in yourself and explore the vast potential that lies within you. 8. Avoid negative coping mechanisms. When you're going through the emotional turmoil of a breakup, it's all too easy to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms to numb the pain. Whether it's overeating, binge-watching TV, or even engaging in substance use, these behaviors may provide temporary relief, but they ultimately make the healing process harder. The Stoics remind us that true peace comes from within, not from external distractions or indulgences. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Stoicism encourages self-discipline and emphasizes the importance of not being enslaved by our desires or impulses. While it may be tempting to lose yourself in comforting distractions, the Stoic approach teaches us that temporary fixes only delay our healing and can lead to greater suffering in the long run. By turning to negative coping mechanisms, you are avoiding the necessary work of confronting and processing your emotions. Instead, redirect your energy into positive outlets that promote growth and well-being. Exercise, for example, is not only beneficial for your physical health, but also your mental health. Physical activity releases endorphins, which naturally boost your mood and reduce stress. The Stoics valued physical well-being as part of achieving balance and clarity in life. Even a simple walk or a 10-minute workout can bring you back to the present moment, clearing your mind and helping you focus on what truly matters. Meditation is another powerful tool that aligns with Stoic practices. Stoicism teaches the importance of mindfulness, staying present, and not letting negative emotions dictate your actions. Regular meditation helps you observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to process emotions more effectively rather than running away from them. Through meditation, you can regain control over your mind and emotions, just as the Stoics encouraged. Creative projects are also excellent ways to channel your energy during difficult times. Whether it's painting, writing, or music, engaging in a creative outlet helps you express what you're feeling in a healthy, constructive way. Creativity can bring a sense of purpose and achievement, which are vital to rebuilding your sense of self after a breakup. The Stoics believed in using every experience, even the painful ones, as an opportunity for growth, and creative expression is one way to turn that pain into something meaningful. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living by reason, and that includes making choices that support your long-term well-being. Negative coping mechanisms, while tempting in the short term, only lead to more suffering in the long term. By focusing on positive habits like exercise, meditation, or creativity, you're practicing the Stoic virtue of temperance, balancing your desires with what is truly good for you. 9. Practice forgiveness, for yourself and your ex. Forgiveness can be one of the most challenging yet liberating parts of healing after a breakup. Stoic philosophy teaches us that holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness only harms ourselves. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Forgiving your ex, and just as importantly, forgiving yourself, isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that prevents you from moving forward. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning what happened, but the Stoic view is that forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. It's a conscious decision to release the grip that anger and resentment have on your mind. By letting go of these negative emotions, you create space for peace and healing. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You cannot control the actions of your ex, but you can control how you respond to the situation. Choosing forgiveness allows you to reclaim your emotional power. Start by forgiving yourself. Breakups often lead to self-blame and regret, but the Stoics remind us that dwelling on past mistakes is unproductive. We all make errors, And instead of fixating on them, the Stoic path encourages us to learn and grow from those experiences. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this breakup? How can I use these lessons to become better in the future? Forgiving yourself isn't about ignoring mistakes. It's about acknowledging them and using them as fuel for personal growth. Similarly, forgiving your ex doesn't mean you have to forget what happened or continue to have them in your life. Rather, it means releasing yourself from the emotional burden of holding on to past hurts. The Stoics believed that clinging to negative emotions keeps you tethered to the past, hindering your ability to live fully in the present. By letting go of resentment, you are choosing to prioritize your own mental and emotional well-being. In Stoic philosophy, apatheia, a state of being free from destructive emotions, plays a significant role in achieving inner peace. Forgiveness aligns with this principle, as it helps you rise above the emotional turmoil of the breakup. You are not forgiving to absolve the other person of their actions. You are doing it to release yourself from the chains of anger and bitterness. Holding on to resentment keeps you in a cycle of pain and ties you to the past, preventing you from fully embracing the future. As you practice forgiveness, remember that it's a process. It won't happen overnight, and it doesn't have to. But with each step toward forgiveness, you open up more room for peace and healing. Healing takes time, and it's okay to have setbacks along the way. What truly matters is that you keep moving forward. By facing your emotions, practicing self-care, and focusing on growth, you won't just heal. You'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and the Stoic path teaches us that adversity is the fuel for personal transformation. Right now, it might feel like you're broken, but you are not defeated. The best version of you is still ahead, waiting to be discovered through this journey of healing and self-reflection. Each step you take today is bringing you closer to a more empowered, resilient version of yourself. If you found this video, Broken But Not Defeated, 9 Ways to Heal After a Breakup, helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Narratives for more content on personal growth, emotional resilience, and the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. You've got this, and we'll be here to support you on your journey. Stay strong, stay resilient, and remember, your best days are still ahead.